Thank you for taking the time today to learn more about the 10th edition of Working with Young Children. In this video, we will shortly go live into the online instructor resources, which provide instructors with time-saving preparation tools such as answer keys, editable lesson plans, PowerPoint presentations, and other teaching aids. In addition to instructor resources, the print version of Working with Young Children is also available online for students, including a full ebook version, digital versions of the workbook and observation guide, as well as a video library, study tools, and assessments. Additionally, all of the digital assets for this text can be integrated into your school's learning management system. Now, let's go live. Welcome to GW Online. Within our online platform, you can access all of the digital assets available for working with young children. First, you'll see the full online textbook. When you click into the online textbook, you'll get a full hyperlinked table of contents so you can quickly navigate to the section of the text you want to see. You can see that Working with Young Children introduces students to the exciting and challenging field of early childhood education and care. Students will learn about brain development and its impact on developing children, child development theories and practices, creating safe and inviting learning environments, and preparing engaging learning experiences and activities that promote all aspects of children's development. Students will also gain knowledge and skills in dealing with specific concerns related to infants, toddlers, school-age children, and children with diverse needs. Every chapter in Working with Young Children begins with a Reading Advantage activity, which provides reading comprehension advice at the beginning of the chapter. Case studies describe a real-world scenario with application questions to consider. At the beginning of each lesson, the essential question provides a starting point for thinking about the lesson, while the learning outcomes identify the knowledge and skills to be obtained, and the key terms list the vocabulary defined in the lesson. As students read, they'll see many images, charts, and figures to help them visualize key concepts. And at the end of every single lesson review questions provide opportunities to assess student learning before moving forward. Within the online textbook, you can easily navigate by clicking the table of contents icon here, or using the search bar to search for keywords or a page. You can also increase the size of the text or decrease it with these buttons here. Let's take a look at some of the amazing features that you'll find throughout the text by looking at the feature contents. Early childhood insights provide insight into early learning environments, while workplace connections explore policies and guidelines that students might see within those environments. In Chapter 1, You, Working with Young Children, will help students understand and evaluate related careers and skills they'll need to be successful as a teacher. While Chapter 2, Types of Early Childhood Education Programs, help students explore different career opportunities available within the industry. Features like Focus on Careers identify specific career paths in early learning environments, while Ethical Responsibilities identify ethical guidelines to be followed. Chapter 33, Your Career in Early Childhood Education, includes lessons on preparing for a career search and career success skills. Health highlights identify policies and procedures that promote students' health throughout the text, while Chapter 11, Planning Nutritious Meals and Snacks, and Chapter 12, Guiding Children's Health, includes lessons on food prep and nutrition, promoting health, and caring for illness and injuries. In Chapter 10, Promoting Children's Safety, includes lessons on early childhood safety procedures and neglect, abuse, and liability. Within the table of contents, you can see Chapters 19 through 28 cover the many kinds of learning experiences teachers can offer in early childhood education, with examples of how to plan these activities, set up the area, the equipment and materials, including criteria for choosing a certain technology or method, the teacher's role in the activity, teaching strategies, and even recommended children's books for that kind of activity. The end of every single chapter offers comprehensive review and assessment, starting with a summary of all of the learning outcomes that students would learn throughout the lessons and the chapter. They also then have the opportunity to complete a vocabulary activity to help them practice understanding of key terms from the chapter, and then have a series of scaffolded critical thinking activities where students will make inferences, analyze, determine, compare and contrast, and draw conclusions. There are also cross-curricular activities where students can practice writing research technology, mathematical social studies, listening, and CTE career readiness practice skills within scenarios related to the chapter content. And students are encouraged to create a portfolio throughout the entire life of their course. Now, when you get access to the online textbook for working with young children, make sure that you check out the table of contents to quickly navigate to the chapters, lessons, and features that are of most interest to you. I'm going to back out now back to the online instructor resources. In addition to the online textbook, students have access to the full companion website, which provides practice for chapter tests or could be used to increase engagement in class time with digital flashcards, matching activities that provide instant feedback, as well as a vocabulary game in a Jeopardy style. In addition to those study tools and activities, you'll also see the end of chapter review questions from the text are available as customizable docx files, as well as those critical thinking questions from the end of chapter. The full digital version of the workbook, as well as the observation guide, are also available within the online content. Organized to follow the textbook on a chapter-by-chapter basis, the workbook is also available in print, but provides questions to help students review the material presented in each chapter. For example, in Chapter 9, Selecting Toys, Equipment, and Educational Materials, the workbook activities will ask students to think through the kinds of equipment needed for different program goals. Offering a matching activity to decide what kind of equipment is appropriate for certain age groups, describes varying conditions of equipment and asks students to note what actions to take to review them or if they should be discarded, and even asks students to practice comparing prices from different vendors. Likewise, the Student Observation Guide is also available in print or online. These activities are aligned to concepts found in each chapter of the textbook and help guide students through the observation process that is fundamental to evaluating children's development. Each section offers space for students to detail who and where they visited, and calls out what they should be prepared to do and observe before their visit. There is then space to add notes about each aspect of the visit they should pay attention to while on site, as well as review questions to reflect on their experience afterward. Students and instructors also have access to the video library with 21 authentic video clips that demonstrate children and educators engaging in play, supervision, and daily activities of the educational setting that provide observational opportunities. Last but not least, the instructor resources. From the online instructor resources, instructors have access to test banks, which include pre- and post quizzes, as well as chapter exams that can be easily uploaded into your school's learning management system or printed for printed use in the classroom. Then, by chapter, you also have access to chapter-specific resources, including answer keys for the textbook, workbook, customizable lesson plans, handouts, and PowerPoint presentations. Lesson plans walk you through the learning outcomes as well as the print or digital resources available for every single lesson. You'll see that there are options for remote and in-person learning activities, alignment to key national standards and certifications, bell ringer activities, case studies, again, those essential questions that are from the book, as well as different teaching strategies. It also calls out where you can assign assessments to pre-test, post-test, and where you can have students practice and what activities to complete within the classroom. PowerPoint lectures are designed to help guide class lecture and are useful for students to take notes about key concepts throughout the chapter. Additional course-level resources include instructional strategies as well as pacing guides, rubrics for group or individual participation, as well as evaluations, and correlations to industry-recognized credentials and national standards. We hope you enjoy your time with access to Working with Young Children, the 10th edition. Many instructors love using this textbook with their students to help introduce them to the world of early childhood education-related careers. If you have any questions, please contact your GW educational consultant. Thank you.